Shalom. This is the brother Tazwa Kal from GMS Germany with a new lesson. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and the highest honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakudash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Gemers and taught us truth. Peace and blessings and salutations to the elect out there who spread this truth and sincerity and our charity across of all winds. So back with another lesson involving around the title, this is going to be the norm in the future to come. Okay, in the up and coming future, because it says here cannibal pleads guilty to eating grinder date. Okay, so it says the American admitted he killed and dismembered the victim 2 years after initially pleading insanity. So that's happened 2 years ago. It was already 2020. If it came out now, just from the time period. See here. Here's the other article. See, it's from 2020. It says accused sodomite cannibal pleads insanity to charges he killed and ate parts of Grindr date. Because Grindr is an app where these sodomites link up with each other. So now here says I didn't even see this article before, but let's go jump real quick into it. It says a Michigan man who allegedly killed and ate the testicles of a man he met on the sodomite dating app Grindr has pleaded insanity and claimed royal lineage as authorities. As authorities have expanded the investigation to include other possible victims. Okay, so he pleaded insane, that he is just lost his mind and it's not in the right state of his mind, that he just won't get the full charge. But now he came out and said that he's guilty, and it says Mark Latunsky is charged with open murder and mutilation of a body after reportedly confessing to stabbing 25-year-old Kevin Bacon in the back, slitting his throat, and hanging him up by his ankle from the rafter of his home in Morris, only to later cut off and eat the dead man's testicles. So this shows you that harsh times and cruel times are ahead, because like the scriptures say, this was already in 2020 what happened. So now think about the situation, okay? Think about the situation now that comes upon this earth, man. Think about the situation now that comes upon this earth because of what's going on, man. And this is what the Heavenly Father brings upon the earth because of the wickedness that is committed. The kings of the earth. So let's go to Matthew chapter 24 and verse So like I said, let's go to the book of Matthew chapter 24 and let's start at verse wait 1 second. Verse 12, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Because think about the situation that 2020 was in. The C-19 was on the rise, so there was already iniquity abounding, but now it is even surpassing that. It's getting worse and worse in this world. So what are the people expecting? Cruelty and love waxing cold, so no mercy upon each other. That is what's coming for this world. And this is going to intensify. This is what you see here. Like I said, going to be the norm. This is going to be the norm because they won't have mercy upon each other. Let's go to, because that's a merciless and cruel death that the sodomite rightly, justly happened upon him. You can see it as a side of, the Heavenly Father judged him, but also you have to understand the times that we're in. And this is a sign that the Heavenly Father, or rather said, that is an example that the Heavenly Father is showing us of what is to come in the near future. Because in the book of 2 Ezra chapter 15, In verse 14 it says this: woe to the world and them that dwell therein. So destruction to the world and them that dwell therein. Destruction to this kingdom. Not to the entire planet, but to this kingdom. It says, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. So this is the time that we are about to enter into, that we see more and more approaching in this world, you know? And why is that? Because the Heavenly Father speaks his prophecies, and the Heavenly Father has his master plan, which he's step by step executing. So people shall stand and fight against another with swords in their hands, you know? For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings or princes, and the power and the course of the action stand their own power. So you're gonna have civil war. You're gonna have civil war. You're gonna have people fighting against each other that were friends. You're gonna have sections, city against city, kingdom against kingdom. Okay? And then it says, there shall be sedition among men, and sedition is the concentrated attempt to overthrow civil authority. And they're gonna do what they want because it is in the power of their hands. So what you have is these seditioners gonna go and want to overthrow the government, gonna fight against the government, gonna do what they want, you know? And when we jump down to verse 19, there's the point: the man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. See, so have no pity upon his neighbor, and that's what you saw here. A man has no pity upon his neighbor. Like you said, let's read it again. It says, Mark Latunsky is charged with open murder and mutilation of a body after reportedly confessing to stabbing 25-year-old Kevin Bacon in the back. So he stabbed in the back and slitting his throat, and then he cut his throat open. So like you see in the movies, man, like a serial killer type of thing, which he actually did. Stabbed in the back, cut the throat open. Okay, and hanging him up by his ankle from the raft of his home in Morris. Why do you think he did that? That the blood runs out, man. They can't eat the meat. Good. That's what he did, man. Only to later cut off and eat the dead man's testicles. And that's the merciless and cruelty, the spirit of merciless and cruelty which is upon the earth, and which is just grown day by day, step by step, man. Okay, says Latunsky's lawyer has filed an insanity plea citing an historic history of mental illness, including 4 court orders stay in an institution. So they say, like, yeah, he's an insane person, man. He's a lunatic in that sense that he's crazy in his mind. He lost his mind. But the lunatic literally means sick of the moon. Okay? And it says, Latunsky believes he is a member of a royal family from Wales. This is what he said here in the beginning. Has pledged insanity and claimed royal lineage. Why do you think that? Because he wanted to escape the judgment. And he might be one of them. And he just got kicked out because he did something that wasn't right. It might be. Okay, but it says with another name. So he says he's a member of a royal family from Wales with another name. His lawyer claimed on Wednesday. The judge has ordered a forensic evaluation. Okay. Yeah. Then it goes more detailed about it. So he says cannibal arrested for chopping more than 1,000 pieces and sharing with dog. Hey, see? This was in 2019, so what do you think gonna happen in the near future in 2020, when it was already in the years of the C-19, when really the hell started more and more on this earth? So now, let's go back here. It says cannibal pleads guilty. So now, after he got convicted 2 years ago and claimed his insanity, now he pleads guilty. Okay? So what you have is that this cruelty and merciless death gonna come again upon the earth, like it was in ancient times and like it's prophesied. Because let's go to the book of 2 Kings chapter 6 and verse 24. It says, and it came to pass after this that Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, gathered all his hosts and went up and besieged Samaria. So Ben-Hadad, the king of Syria, yeah, came against Israel, okay, and it's besieged Samaria. And let's look up I want to say Israel. So to get a good map, let me just check here. That's not sharp enough. Maybe this one. Yeah, well, with the tribes, of course. This is Israel. Oh, okay. But wait. Tribes. Let me put it like this. Okay, here. So Samaria was here in this region of Manasseh. Because when we go back to the first picture, right, that I had, see here, it's in the area of Manasseh. So here was Samaria. So Ben-Hadad came and surrounded Samaria. So he came in and surrounded Samaria. So that was the scenario. So what was going on? It says in verse 2 Kings 6:25, and there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it. See, so they besieged the city that no food comes in, nobody comes in, nobody comes out. This means also no food comes in, no food comes out. Until an ass head, so a donkey's head, was sold for 80 pieces of silver. Okay? 80 pieces of silver, one scores 20, is 80 pieces of silver. And the fourth part of a cap of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver. So an unclean animal head for 80 pieces of silver, and bird poop, dove's poop, dove shit, dove's feces for 5 pieces of silver, man. That was the situation in Israel. So this is what's coming on the earth again, because famine is coming. You see it coming. And you see it slowly but surely approach, because it's a systematic famine. A systematic famine is coming for this world. Okay? And it says, and as the king, so you saw the famine was going on, right? So that's an that's an example from the ancient times for this times right now. Because it says, and as the king of Israel was passing by the wall, there cried a woman unto him, saying, Help, my lord, O king. And he said, If the Lord Yahweh do not help thee, when shall I help thee? Out of the barn floor, out of the winepress, so how can I help you? So how can I get you food? Where do you think I can fix you up? Should I go to the barn floor? Don't you know it's emptied already? Okay, it says, and the king said unto her, What lieth thee? And she answered, This woman said unto me, Give thy son, that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. So we boiled my son, and did eat him. And I said unto the next day, Give thy son, that we may eat him. And she has hid her son. So what they did is they boiled the king's son, the prince, and ate him. So they ate the king's son. And then the woman hid her son. So what was this? An act of cannibalism. Because let's go on the word cannibal. So okay, bear for 1 second. It says human that eats human flesh. Okay, from Spanish canibal, a savage cannibal. So savage means lawless. Okay. So it means what again? Human that eats human flesh. That's a cannibal. So they committed here cannibalism. Why? Because of the famine. Because like it says in Lamentations, let me get it here. Lamentations 4:9. It says this. They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. So they that died in war, for example, to a sword slice, you know, are better than they that be dying of a famine, man. You know, are better than they that are dying of a famine. Why is that? Because to die of famine is a horrible death, because it says here, for these pine away. So they pine away. Let's look up the word pine. Pine. It says, no, not pine. To pine. Pine, the verb. Okay, bear with me 1 second. It says cause to starve, to torture, torment, affect, cause to suffer. Okay. It says cause to starve, so they starve. But let's look up the word pine here also in the Hebrew. In the Hebrew, pine. In the Hebrew is a what? Gush, issue, discharge, pine away, flow, having the issue. But what it really means is what? Cause to starve, being torment, cause to suffer. So they sufferly starving. Okay, stricken through for want of the fruit of the field. So they are wanting the fruit of the field, which is food. So they want food, but they can't have it. So they're slowly but surely pining away. Okay, because Salakia, again the word pine here. It says also possible ultimately from Latin poena, punishment, penalty. Exactly, because this is really a penalty, man. Okay, language, waste away. That's what it is, man. You waste away. Okay. You're wasting away slowly but surely. You're deceasing, man. When you starve and have no food, what's gonna happen is first your body gonna eat its fat. Then when the fat is gone, it's gonna eat its muscles to the point that you can't move anymore. So you're just laying there but be still alive. So that's a terrible death. So what people rather gonna do is eat other people. Like in The Walking Dead. Okay? Like in the scenario, the guy just wanted to eat them. And that's the spirit creative vengeance, and also it's the judgment of Yahweh Shemiah Shai, man. That's what it is. Okay? Because the Heavenly Father permitted or executed the judgment through his angels. So now, we go back and read a little bit more here. And it says, 2 Ezra chapter 6, verse 30. It came to pass, when the king heard the word of the woman, that he rent his clothes, and he passed by upon the wall, and the people looked, and behold, he had sackcloth upon his flesh. And then he said, the more I do so, and more also to me, if the head of Elisha, the son of Shaphat, shall stand on him this day. Okay, so he said, I'm going to kill Elisha. But Elisha sat in his house, and the elders sat with him, and the king sent a man from before him. But ere the messenger came to him, he said to the elders, see ye how the son of a murderer has sent to take away mine head? Look, when the messenger cometh, shut the door and hold him fast at the door. Is not the sound of this master's feet behind him? Yeah, because they wanted to kill Elisha. Okay, because this is what the wicked kings of Israel always did. They wanted to kill the men of the Lord because they spoke against their wickedness. So what you think going to happen to us? They're going to come against us also. So now, also what we're going to read, and we're going to close the lesson with that. Or matter of fact, we're going to go first back to the article, and then we're going to close the video. 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse, what was it? Yes. Yep. But we're going to go up a little bit, because I just want to double check something. Yes. So this can go away, this can go away. Yeah. let's just read a little bit more. This article says, so he pleaded guilty, right? Yeah, actually, there's nothing more really in it. But let's read this. Latunsky and Bacon met on Grindr, like I said, and met at Latunsky's house for a date. And this shows you also, man, you have to be aware with who you deal with, man. Because, don't be a simple-minded Negro, man. What I mean with that is that you can't just be so simple, man. Don't let everyone in your environment in your surrounding, man. You have to be aware of your surroundings. You have to be aware of the people who you deal with, because there are a lot of people that wish you harm. Okay, and of course you're under the protection of the Lord, but this doesn't mean that we should be so foolish and tempt the Lord, man. Okay, because this dude went to this dude's house. Of course, that's a wicked. These both are actors of wickedness. But what I mean is that you should use it as an example for yourself, man. Okay, the cannibal claimed Bacon told him he was suicidal, to which he responded he could help the younger man disappear, and suggested using a knife. So that's the thing. These people have mad demons upon them. You see that these sodomites have legions of demons upon them. They always deal with these suicidal thoughts because they know it's wrong what they're doing. It is wrong. Okay? It says, when Bacon supposedly said do it, Latunsky stabbed him in the back of the neck and slit his throat, supposedly to ensure he didn't suffer, before hanging him upside down and removing his testicles with the knife. So, okay, you did that, but why did you eat it though? Latunsky said he normally eats Rocky Mountain oysters. Oh, let's look up the oyster. Oyster. Yeah, see, abominable food, man. Okay. He reached Rocky Mountain oysters and said instead of eating the ones in his freezer, he decided to use the testicles of Kevin Bacon. Okay, Michigan State Police Detective Sergeant James Moore testified. So the funny thing is that the guy normally eats these oysters, but now you want to eat testicles. Why? Because it's the same abominable thing. You shouldn't eat testicles. These things are not meant to be eaten. Okay, it says Bacon's body was discovered in the basement of Latunsky's home in Bennington Township just days after the pair's fateful Christmas Eve rendezvous. Police have been looking into the possibility that Latunsky was involved in other crimes. While they spoke with two other men he picked up on Grindr, who allegedly fled his home in late 2020, no charges have been filed. One man even returned to Latunsky's home after that night. But let's go to 2 Ezra and close it out. 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 57. Or let me say the 56, because there's a judgment against Asia, like you can read here, verse 46. And thou, Asia, that are partaker of the hope of Babylon, art thou the glory of a person? Then it keeps on going. And then it speaks about the judgment. We read verse 56. Like as thou hast done unto my chosen, saith the Lord, even so shall the Most High do unto thee, and shall deliver thee into mischief. Thy children shall die of hunger, and thou shalt fall through the sword. Thy cities shall be broken down, and all thine shall perish with the sword of the field. See? So thy children shall die of hunger, and thou shalt fall through the sword. So war is coming, death is coming, famine is coming. The city shall be broken down, and all thine shall perish with the sword of the field. Okay, verse 58 is the point. They that be in the mountains shall die of hunger, and eat their own flesh, cannibalism, and drink their own blood, for very hunger of bread and thirst for water, see? And that's what's going to come for this earth. Of course, this spoke about Asia, but like we read in Israel, this is a thing that's going to come in Israel again. Israel is going to do that again, like in the ancient times. And on top of that, this is going to be worldwide. It's gonna be worldwide. It's gonna be normalized, like in The Walking Dead. You know, in the series there, like the brother was. Let me see if I can find the video real quick from the elder brother Amwan Gabar. Here's page Salakia. Let me go down here. Where's the video? I remember a video. Yeah, I can't find the video. If I find the video, I'll put it in the description box. He had to. What is it? He had a snippet of the Walking Dead series of cannibalism. But like I said, it's everything I got. I pray and hope this lesson was edifying to the spirit and power, mercy, and grace of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rekakudash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles who Muslim taught us this truth. Peace and blessings, salutations to the elect out there who spread this truth with sincerity. And was charity across 4 winds. And again, all praises, glory, and the highest honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rekakudash. Until the next one, Shalom.